CBS News.
Catch Hollywood Squares weeknights at 6:30 on CBS 5. On CBS 5 News, next.
You know, I wasn't even sure that the voices I was hearing were real, you know, but I was trying to communicate.
A shooting victim tries to reach officers as they walk away thinking he's dead.
If I felt this team was going to lose, I would not be here.
One of the best pitchers in baseball puts on his Diamondbacks jersey for the first time today.
It's more than just ringing bells. Just about any talent you have could be put to use this holiday season. We'll tell you an easy way to volunteer.
Welcome home, Arizona, to KPHO. This is CBS 5 News at 6.
In this Peoria home, police thought they found 2 dead bodies, but one man wasn't dead. Tonight, for the first time, you'll hear from the man who survived and the officer fired after a police investigation.
That's really all I remember. I was just wondering why there was all these voices and people were inside my house and I was still sitting in there, you know. Nobody had touched me.
I'm fighting to get my reputation back. I'm fighting to get my integrity back. I'm fighting to get my name back.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Jay Allen.
And I'm Carol Cavazos. One day after the Peoria Police Department fired her, Janet Boberg talks to CBS 5 News. You'll hear what she has to say in just a moment. What we have for you right now is an interview with the man who was left for dead by Peoria police. Brad Gerard speaks out for the first time since that night of his attempted suicide. In an exclusive interview, he tells CBS 5's Jeff Mirasola his brother may still be alive if police had done their job. Jeff?
That's right, Carol. Brad Gerard feels that his brother was still alive when police first entered his apartment, but that they were in for such a short period of time and never checked for vital signs. His brother died before getting medical attention.
It went like behind my eye, severed my optic nerve, blew out part of my sinuses, and like came out of the side of my head over here.
Brad Gerard says there must be a reason he didn't die when he put a gun to his head and pulled the trigger.
Blind in one eye, but it's better than being dead, I guess, you know. Kind of like a second chance, I guess.
Stressed out over losing a job and being evicted, he made the decision to shoot himself. He says he had no idea his brother would do the same.
They're saying that, you know, it was some suicide pact or something like that. It had nothing to do with that. I didn't know my brother was home at the time.
Brad woke up after shooting himself when he heard the shot that eventually killed his brother Eric. Sometime later, he heard voices in his apartment, the police. 2 hours later, he made this 911 call asking for help.
Help! Help! What's the matter, sir?
It should have been obvious that I was alive, because when I was at the hospital and I was breathing, air was shooting blood out of my actual wound. And in order for me to be alive, I would have had to been breathing.
And despite police reports, Gerard says no one ever nudged him or kicked him to see if he was alive.
I was awake enough to hear voices and know that people were inside my apartment. I would have known that if he would have kicked me, because I could feel the phone when I kicked it, and I would have known if somebody would have touched me.
2.5 hours after police first entered his apartment, Brad got to the phone and called 911, and that's when he finally got some medical attention. That's a full 5 hours after he shot himself.
Jeff, this is an incredible story for him to tell. Now, is the Gerard family considering any lawsuits of any kind against the Peoria Police Department?
Carol, if they are at this time, they're not sharing that with us.
They're not talking about it at this point. All right. Jeff Mirasola, thank you.
Well, on the other side, Peoria police launched a massive internal investigation into what went wrong, and it resulted in a sergeant being demoted and cost one other officer her job. Peoria's police chief fired 10-year veteran Janet Boberg, accusing her of failing to do her job and lying during that investigation. Well, tonight she too breaks her silence and speaks exclusively with CBS 5's Donna Rossi.
I'm sorry that the police department as a whole didn't do a better job in locating that Brad was still alive.
Former Peoria police officer Janet Boberg doesn't know how to explain the horrendous oversight, but believes she did not deserve to get fired over it.
Because I didn't go inside, I didn't check the bodies. That was not where my position was at the scene.
Boberg claims she posted at the front door to keep onlookers out and to cover the sergeant and a rookie cop checking inside.
Sergeant Wilson came outside and told me there was 2 deceased people inside. I had to go with what he said. I wasn't going to challenge him.
Interviews documented in the police department's own administrative report back up Boberg's claim. Sergeant Wayne Wilson, the rookie cop, and the apartment manager all say they did not see Boberg go inside.
I was standing there, I could see everything.
But this man, arriving at the apartment to visit Brad Gerard, says Boberg did go inside.
It seemed like she was going to check vital signs and do what I thought, you know, she was going to do, and they never did.
Now, that witness, Mark Roop, and Officer Boberg both took lie detector tests. The examiner concluded Roop was telling the truth and Boberg was not. The department based her termination on her alleged deception. Boberg emphatically denies she lied and is appealing her firing.
Yeah, so she says she's the scapegoat. Donna, what is Peoria's police chief saying about this whole thing?
Well, Chief Michael Strofe would not speak with us for our story. It was relayed to us that the only comment he had about the investigation is in this dismissal notice to Boberg that basically enumerates why he fired her.
We will continue to follow this story. Thanks, Donna.
Arrowhead Community Hospital will stay open and remain fully operational thanks to a ruling by a federal judge. The Glendale Hospital was placed on probation in November by the federal agency that oversees Medicare and Medicaid expenditures. Allegations included questionable patient deaths. The hospital says those charges are false.
There is nothing in these reports that could harm this hospital if anyone took a clear look at them. Absolutely nothing. And that's what's really shocking about it, how they could come to such a wrong conclusion.
Our attorneys are prepared to go forward. We believe that we have a very solid case, and we are going to win in court.
A hearing will be set in federal court within 10 days.
The Environmental Protection Agency comes down on 2 Phoenix companies. It's ordering both Motorola and Allied Signal to clean up groundwater contamination caused, the EPA says, by their factories. The 2 now must build a $12 million water treatment plant in Phoenix because of that. And Boeing's helicopter plant in Mesa is not expected to feel much effect from the company's massive layoff plans. The company says the plant here in the valley has virtually no work related to any of the planes produced up in Seattle. Boeing, as you may have heard, announced yesterday it would cut 48,000 workers over the next 2 years.
It was rumored for weeks. It became official on Monday. But it wasn't until this afternoon that Randy Johnson, one of the top pitchers in baseball, put on an Arizona Diamondbacks jersey for the first time. And sports director Chris Coraggio tells us this was also a first with a big unit in front of the local media.
That's right. You know, this isn't bad for a second-year franchise, getting one of the best pitchers in all baseball.
I wouldn't say it's bad at all.
No, I know we're 4 months away from Diamondback baseball over at Bank One Ballpark, but today there certainly was a buzz around the venue, and all because of the guy they call the big unit. Randy Johnson signed with the club a couple of days ago, but today he met everybody as a press conference was held out at the Bob. And for the most feared pitcher in all of baseball, $53 million is a good reason to put on a Diamondback uniform, but there is more to it than just that for the Paradise Valley resident.
It was a decision based on my family where I felt that I wanted to end my career and have my family grounded there, and that's why it was an extremely tough decision. If people thought it was an easy decision while he was going to go to the Diamondbacks all along, well, if that was the case, I would have picked here a long time ago, opposed to dragging it out about 6 weeks.
Okay, that makes sense. More on number 51 coming in sports.
Yeah, hey, and I thought the uniform fit like a glove.
Don't you think?
Yeah, or a mitt or something. Okay,
good.
we'll talk
Nice
to you
pun.
more about that later, Chris. Thanks.
Well, a group of Gilbert homeowners claims what their builder didn't tell them is hurting them, and they want some compensation for it. Residents of Superstition Highlands are suing U.S. Home Corporation. They contend that the builder never disclosed anything about the expansion of nearby Williams Gateway Airport. They say the airport is a hazard, a nuisance, and it's destroying their quality of life out there. That suit seeks unspecified damages.
What do a shopping center and a football stadium have in common? A lot, literally, for one community. That story in other news where you live. Tempe sees the Los Arcos Mall project as an opportunity to upgrade Sun Devil Stadium. Tempe leaders think they should form a stadium district with Scottsdale, which is trying to lure the Phoenix Coyotes to the new Los Arcos. Then Tempe could go after a $150 million makeover for Sun Devil Stadium. The upgrade could help keep the Fiesta Bowl in Tempe.
A Scottsdale church wins approval to expand St. Patrick's Catholic Church at 84th Street near Shea wants to grow by about 30,000 square feet. Neighbors, though, are concerned about traffic and noise. Last night, the Scottsdale City Council approved the plan 4-3, but sent back the church's parking lot lighting plan to a city board.
Chandler city offices are closing down for one extra day this month. That's because it's moving day on December 11th. Chandler will move city offices from South Arizona Place to its new location at 55 North Arizona Place. The new offices will open to the public on the 14th.
You know, it's tough to find a little extra time during the holidays. We all have that problem, but you know, a little help goes a long ways, and just about everything is needed. We're going to show you how you can help.
A Phoenix store clears the aisles so seniors and people with disabilities can shop without the crowds.
And some off and on rain all over the valley today. Steve Teeling, any more ahead tonight?
Well, Jay, it does look like a little bit more on radar, but some better weather coming in for the next day or so. But you know what? More storm systems are on the horizon. When will they get here? Details coming up with your Neighborhood Weather 5cast. Stay with us.
You're watching CBS 5 News with Jay Allen, Carol Cavazos, Steve Teeling, and Chris Carragio. Welcome home, Arizona, to CBS 5 News at 6. Closed captioning for CBS 5 News provided by U.S. West. Life's better here.
The holiday season is upon us, and with that comes the season for giving, of course. CBS 5's Laura Garcia tells us volunteers for the holidays are in short supply this year, but there is a way you can help.
The ring of that oh-so-familiar bell tells us the holidays are near, and with them, the call for volunteers.
Most people are willing and ready to volunteer because they feel like it's time to give something back to the community because it's been such a good year for them.
Whatever the reason, the need for volunteers is great during the entire holiday season. There are over 1,000 nonprofit agencies in the valley that could use your help. And there is a multitude of Yuletide things to do, from posing as St. Nick for hundreds of happy kids to cooking food, serving it up.
I kind of find it fun.
Even repairing bicycles for the needy. Almost anything you're interested in doing.
If your talent is baking, you know, you'd find an agency near you who really needs some extra treats during the holiday season. If you enjoy wrapping gifts, there's certainly a need for that.
The key? Make it merry.
Hi, thank you very much. Happy holidays.
Volunteering can bring you just as much satisfaction as it brings to others. Laura Garcia, CBS 5 News.
That's what it's all about. If you'd like to volunteer for the holidays, call the Volunteer Center, 263-9736. The number again, 263-9736, and we'll have that number again for you later in the newscast.
A store in Phoenix gives seniors and people with disabilities a chance to shop without having to fight that crowd. The Target at 7th Avenue and Camelback opened its doors early for them. They all had a chance to look for their holiday gifts, and they got a 10% discount, too.
There you go.
Hey,
Not
good
bad.
for those
Yeah.
those big-ticket items like video cameras or regular cameras or...
Adds up.
Cameras.
Speaking of which, give teenagers a camera and a roll of film. I bet you get some pretty interesting results.
Say, and we'll show you some of the pictures and where you can see them in person when we return.
Steve Teeling joins us now. You know, the U.S. Tennis Association has a tournament going on at the Point Hilton South Mountain, and I was supposed to play in a Pro-Am tournament today to raise money for the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
Is this supposed to?
And Special Olympics. Now, you see a little bit of sunshine there, but, you know, it rained right before that, and this is what I ended up doing this afternoon.
Great serve, Jay.
Well, I wanted
you know,
to...
that was, the sad part is that's the best of it. That's my best tennis right there.
I wanted to spare everyone seeing you in your tennis shorts, Jay, all right? No, you know, I'm in sales, not production, so that's what we have to think about, okay? I don't produce the weather, although I wish I could. Jay, we'll see if we can get better weather for tomorrow. We'll see if that tennis tournament is going on. I think you said all week long or into the weekend?
Into the weekend.
Okay, better weather tomorrow. Let's take a look at some temperatures across the valley. Still not such good weather going on this evening with a little bit of rain. We're going to look at Doppler radar in just a moment. Look at this, 51 degrees here at the studios right now. 48 degrees already, Carefree Ranch, 57 down in Chandler. Hendricks Junior High School reporting that temperature. And up towards Red Mountain Ranch Elementary School in Mesa, 52 degrees. Peralta Elementary, 58, and Buckeye Elementary has come down a couple of degrees since last hour. They are at 57. 56 at the airport with some light rain falling at Sky Harbor as we speak. Humidity up there at 86%. The official high today, 61. Morning low was 53, and it looks like we will be warmer tomorrow before some cooler weather comes back in for the weekend. The cause for this, the reason for all this cloudiness and rainy conditions is this low-level, I should say upper-level low-pressure system, say that 3 times fast, skirting across the southern tier of the state. Now, that's going to move off to our east over the next couple of hours or so, pulling off into New Mexico, but the backlash precipitation is still coming down anywhere from Gilbert down to Chandler, Ahwatukee, up towards Tempe, into Mesa, all reporting light rain as of the top of the hour. And as I said, this is probably going to last for another hour or two longer before skies start to clear out across the state. Now, if you're heading off to the eastern portion of our state tonight, maybe in the White Mountains, above 7,000 feet, you may see 2 to 4 inches of the white stuff before all is said and done. But better weather's coming in for tomorrow. It's been great weather across the rest of the country. I mean, they've been seeing record highs from the nation's capital up to New York City, Albany, New York, on into the Great Lakes with high pressure in control there. We're going to see a little high pressure come in tomorrow, but for tonight it's going to be rather chilly, 30s in the cool spots to upper 40s downtown, and as promised, with the more sunshine that's coming on down from the sky tomorrow, we're going to see a high of 70 degrees, but don't get used to it. Looks like more storm systems coming in for the weekend. So tonight, a couple of early showers or so, but then after that it should be clearing out and rather cool. Tomorrow we're going to be warmer under mostly sunny skies with highs 65 to 70 degrees. Now, Friday looks like a decent day. Maybe some clouds increasing late in the day, but highs should be near 70. We'll call it partly cloudy. Saturday into Sunday, it looks like a 1-2 punch with this storm system. Saturday, we'll see some scattered showers, cooler temperatures, windy conditions, and the same thing into Sunday with highs not getting out of the 50s. So, you know, you want to see this weather with Christmas coming up, but with the tennis tournament going on, you really don't want to see that kind of weather here in the Valley.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Steve, I'm still working on finding my present for you. In the latest edition of Sky Mall, I think there's something in here. I got it off the plane. I'm looking for that space pen that writes on anything.
Keep me posted.
Writes in fire. 16 students from around the Valley depict their life through black and white photography. The photographs were taken by students from age 11 to 18. Each student was given a camera to use and a roll of black and white film. Their assignment was to make a portfolio describing their own life. You can see the photographs through January 3rd at the Burton Barr Library.
Chris, back again. Picture-taking time at Bob today with the big unit in town.
That's right. It writes in fire?
Yeah, and in Greece.
Holy mackerel.
And in Italy.
Should do a story on that. Randy Johnson usually draws a crowd, whether he's on the mound or, say, answering questions in his first press conference as a Diamondback. Today at Bank One Ballpark, the upper concourse party suites were packed as the 6'10 left-hander met the media for the very first time. His mom was there for the occasion, along with his wife and children. And Randy says despite what happened last year for the Diamondbacks, fans should be very optimistic about 1999.
If I felt this team was going to lose, I would not be here. Every 5th day that I go out there, I'll bring something to this team that they haven't had before, the fans haven't seen before, and that will rub off on the other pitchers on the team, and hopefully we'll take off with the hitters on this team. This won't be the same team. I'm working out. I'm very and extremely excited. I'm taking my androstenedione and my creatine and.
We already have a controversy with this guy. All right, most people like to come home for the holidays. The Coyotes, on the other hand, will spend much of December on the road, but right now, where they play doesn't matter much. It's been the same deal over the last 5 weeks for Phoenix, and that is not losing. They head into tonight's game at Edmonton with streaks galore. 14 games unbeaten, 8 straight wins, and 17 straight holding opponents to 2 goals or less. So many impressive stats. Recently, Paul Calvisi found out if the players themselves know the numbers.
You know what the winning streak is at currently? Do you know?
14 or 15, I think, right?
Actually, the winning streak is 8. The unbeaten streak...
Unbeaten, yeah. Unbeaten's 14.
Do you know what your current winning streak is right now? You know where that stands at?
I think 14 games.
That's the unbeaten streak, actually. 14,
okay,
yeah.
Our winning streak is 8.
Not allowing more than 2 goals in a game. Do you know how many that is?
16 or 17, right?
Yeah. 17.
17.
Your current record, do you know that?
14, 2-2.
Pretty good. That's pretty good. So you keep up on that stuff a little bit, huh?
My wife told me it all just before I came this morning.
Okay, on to the Cards now. After losing to the Chiefs last Sunday on the road, this Sunday at home, Arizona hopes to get their 7th victory of the year as the Giants come to Tempe. The last time these two clubs hooked up was mid-October Remember, well, the Cards took a beating then, losing 34-7. But now, this is a team leading the NFC wildcard race.
You know, when you're in the driver's seat, I think it's important that you not take it for granted, and that's kind of the stand we need to take around here and try to win it from here on out.
This game has a lot more at stake than they have in the past. You know, this is basically our season. You know what I mean? We have to get this going.
Well, the MVP of Super Bowl 30 is back with the Cowboys. Today, Dallas re-signed defensive back Larry Brown. That game against the Steelers at Sun Devil Stadium in '96 was the last game Brown played as a Cowboy. He's been with Oakland the last couple of years, but now he's back at Big D because Deion Sanders and Kevin Smith are out with injuries. Well, it's a pretty simple concept. You make a hole-in-one, you get a lot of bucks. That's the deal with the Visoff Fiesta Bowl $1 million hole-in-one out at the Arizona Biltmore. Today was media day for the event. Tomorrow, things get underway for the public. And daily prizes will be awarded. Then the finals, where $1 million will be up for grabs. That's on Sunday, December 13th. So you want to stay in touch for that. Again, tomorrow, you get started, runs through the 12th. That's Saturday. Then if you make it to the finals, you go on Sunday, the 13th.
You're there.
Yep. All right.
Thanks, Chris. A local grocery store enters a unique contest to raise money for charity.
A story that's going to make you go snap, crackle, pop when we come back. Give that number a call if you want to volunteer for just about anything around here. Be sure to join us for CBS 5 News at 10 tonight. If you're a smoker trying to kick the habit, you know how difficult that can be. Researchers, though, now have come up with a new drug they believe can help you, and we'll tell you about it tonight at 10.
Kellogg's Cereals starts a nationwide search for the best Rice Krispies display, and a local grocery store is trying to win it. Bash's has created what it thinks is the best display, not only because of what it looks like, but because the money will go straight to charity. If the store wins, Basha will get $4,000. All I can think of is lots of marshmallow treats.
All right, thanks for watching Snap, Crackle, and Pop and Sports tonight here at 6.
Found some binocular glasses for you. $49.95.